So tomorrow something nerve-wracking is gonna happen. So I am getting an IUD, which I've never had an IUD before, which drives me crazy, but we're not gonna have another baby anytime soon because we're moving. So that is not gonna happen. I'm quite nervous because I've heard good things and bad things about it. So I'm gonna take you guys with me tomorrow. I'm getting it at 1:30 p.m. So I have to take a pregnancy test tomorrow. Hopefully I'm not pregnant. Oh my gosh, imagine if I was pregnant. I find out I'm pregnant tomorrow. Okay guys, today is the day. Just showered, fixed the bed. The doggies are in here because they kept barking downstairs in Julius's class. Gotta fold the laundry. I just pumped one boob, which is 4 ounces, because I'm gonna leave in 4 hours, I believe. It's only 9, so like at 12:30, 12:40. That's gonna happen. Oh, Chloe's knocked out. Chloe. Chloe. Shadow. Yep, Shadow was on the small bed earlier. Oh my gosh, she was licking this. Shadow boy, why were you licking Jack's bed? Ay, nako talaga. Anyways. Just finished pumping, as you can see. I'm gonna charge that later. I'm gonna put that in the fridge. So that is that, and I'll take you guys with me. Ew, I'm lucky scared. I think I'm gonna back out. What are you guys doing? Hi. Oh. Hey. Be nice. What are they doing? Oh no. What are they doing? What are they doing? Are you crawling? Uh-oh, be careful. You gonna crawl? You gonna crawl? Yeah? Oh, you my beautiful eyes. You gonna crawl? Hi. So it's been like 2 days later. So I'm gonna tell you guys my experience. So I woke up, was super nervous because everything that I've read was like, oh, it's gonna hurt so bad, this and that, and then I'm like, I was just really nervous that whole entire day. I was nervous the entire day, and then fast forward, my appointment was at 1:30. So I went to the clinic at around 1 to get a pregnancy test 30 minutes prior to the appointment. So I got that, and then I took ibuprofen, and then I went to check in by like 1:20. They're like, oh, your appointment's at 2, and I'm like, so I had to wait. And then at around like 1:50, somebody mentioned my last name twice, so I went with her, and then she got my vitals. And then once we got to the room, she mentioned a different name. She's like, Laura? And I'm like, no, it's Kelly. She's like, but this last name. I'm like, oh, no, that's not me. So I'm like, you mentioned my last name twice before we went into the room, and then when we got to the room, you mentioned a different last name. And then she just started laughing. She's like, okay, sorry. So she brought me to another room where the correct one is. So there was that. And then I waited. And then the nurse came out. She was like, hey, do you know what birth control you wanted to be on? I'm like, yeah, the IUD. She's like, do you know which one you wanted? So I did most of my research, and for like months, okay? So I was debating between the Paragard and the Skyla. But there's also this thing called Mirena. So the Mirena is a birth control that's good for 7 years, and then your period stops altogether. I have a friend, she was on it for like 2 times, and then she didn't have a period. It has hormones though, but I didn't want like a birth control that would last me 7 years because I want to have another kid less than 3 years, which comes the Skyla. The Skyla has the lowest dosage of hormones. I honestly don't mind hormones because I was on the pill for 6 years, I believe. So I was on the pill. I was doing good with hormones. I was also on the next plan on before for at least half a year, and then I loved that because I didn't get any period. But then I had it removed because I went to get a massage, and the masseuse, she pressed on it and then it moved and then it started hurting, so I had to get it removed. So I went back on the pill, and then so here I am. I got the IUD. I got the Skyla one. It's small, apparently. I didn't see it, but it's like the smallest IUD. It has the lowest hormones. After that, she sent in a request to get the Skyla, and we just had to wait. So we went there, and then she was like, oh, so you know what you're getting. So I did tell her about, I was debating between the Paragard and the Skyla. So I did say I got the Skyla, and she's like, why don't you want the Paragard? I'm like, well, it doesn't have hormones, which is okay, but the thing is, I don't want to have a heavy period because I know the Paragard like just gives you a heavy period, and I'm not about that life. So I said I just go with a Skyla, and plus I have a friend that she got pregnant on the Paragard. I have 2 friends that got pregnant on the Paragard, and I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. So that was that, and then we waited for my prescription, the Skyla, to come in, which was like what, 5 minutes later. The nurse had to get it at the pharmacy, so we did that, and then she's like, oh, it's just gonna pinch a little bit. I had to sign a waiver. She told me the pros and cons of getting the Skyla IUD, or like any IUD basically, and I'm like, yeah, I already know about this. And then I had gotten dressed like waist down, and then she was like, well, let me know. Yeah. So I got undressed, then she went back into the room, and then she, you know, got a speculum and opened me up down there. She said it was gonna be uncomfortable, which honestly though, it didn't even, like, if you give birth, then getting an IUD is nothing. So I got that, and then she got something, I don't know what it's called. She measured my cervix. It wasn't really uncomfortable because I told you I didn't feel anything at all. And then after that, she was like, okay, I'm gonna insert the IUD now. And then I felt like a small pinch, like a small baby cramp, and then that was it. She's like, okay, all done. And I'm like, that was it? And she's like, yep. And then she said that I would spot like afterwards, and which I did. So, and then she told me to just lay down and then, you know, just relax, because some people get nauseous. But then, like, I didn't even wait 5 minutes. I just got dressed and I was out the door. She just gave me like when I should come back, and then I told her if she could prescribe me ibuprofen, and she did. So I went to the pharmacy right after. Like, it was that easy. On the way home, I did start feeling a little bit nauseous. So like the car ride home is like, I was on my first day of having my period. That was the feeling. And then when I got home, I felt fine. I just had a headache that night, and that was it. The next day I was really nauseous, though I was taking a different prenatal, so I'm guessing that was that, because the following day, which was yesterday, I did not take that prenatal brand in the morning, and I was fine the whole day. I'm just spotting a little bit, but that was that. It was so easy. I hyped up myself for obviously nothing at all. So I like my IUD so far. It's not painful. I just feels like I'm on my period, but I'm not really on my period. I don't know. They did say that my body is still adjusting, so that is that. That was basically my Skyla experience. I've read so much horror stories about it, and it didn't even, maybe because I've given birth, like I said, it would have been a different story if I have not given birth. But that is that. Hopefully my period does disappear. And also, I forgot to mention, I also got the Skyla because I joined this mom group on Facebook, and I asked if you know, it was safe too. Well, me and my midwife already discussed this beforehand. Since it does have a lower amount of dosage of hormones, it's safe for breastfeeding. So I am exclusively breastfeeding my son, and I don't want my milk supply to drop, you know what I mean? So that's also one of the reasons why I got the Skyla. So that is basically my experience on getting this Skyla IUD. So far I would recommend. It's not even a week yet, but I'm totally fine. I baby proof for 3 years. Not really baby proof because I already have a baby, but you know what I mean. So no baby for another 3 years. I can get it taken out anytime. I'll update you guys if something happens with the IUD for sure. But yeah, so this is my experience with the Skyla IUD, and if you're planning on getting it, it might be different for you guys, so I don't know. I was just lurking on Reddit, the birth control subreddit, and then asking other moms about their birth control experience. So everybody's different. For me, so far it's mostly positive. Yeah, so if you're planning on getting it, there's no hurt to try, but also do check with your insurance provider if they cover it or not. Yeah, hopefully this is a little bit informational for you guys. So hope you guys like this short experience video. I have no idea. If you have any questions, just comment down below or hit me up on my Instagram, which is at KellyKay, KELLIKAYY. I usually respond so fast on Instagram, so just, you know, message me there. Alright, so I hope you guys have a great day, and this video helps you on whether you want to get the Skyla or not. So see y'all next time. Bye.